Here's something that might shock you. The strongest signs a woman is into you are the ones you're completely ignoring. You're waiting for her to text first, to laugh at all your jokes, to make it crystal clear she wants you. But that's not how women operate when they actually have real feelings. When a woman secretly loves you, she doesn't broadcast it. She buries it under layers of careful behavior, subtle tests, and plausible deniability. Why? Because if you don't feel the same way, she can pretend she never cared. Most men sit around analyzing the wrong signals. They overreact to a delayed text. They read too much into friendly conversation. Meanwhile, she's been showing you exactly how she feels through 7 specific behaviors, and you've been blind to every single one. If you've been wondering whether she likes you or you're just projecting, this video is your answer. I'm going to show you the 7 things women do when they're secretly in love but protecting themselves from rejection. No guessing, no more confusion, just clear patterns you can recognize in your situation right now. If she's doing even 3 of these, you're not imagining it. Now let's see what you've been missing. Before we dive into the 7 signs, you need to understand something. This isn't about catching her in some game or proving she's been lying to you. That's not what this is. This is about reading the situation accurately so you don't friend-zone yourself out of fear or confusion. Here's the truth from a woman's perspective. When we really like someone, we get careful. Not because we're manipulative, but because rejection is terrifying. So we test, we drop hints, we create situations where if you don't reciprocate, we can backtrack and pretend we were never that interested in the first place. That's why the signs you're about to learn look nothing like what you think attraction should look like. Let's go deeper. Here's the problem most men face. You're stuck in limbo. She's giving you just enough to keep you interested, but not enough to feel confident making a move. So you're trapped in this exhausting loop of overanalyzing every interaction, every text, every look. You replay the conversation from last week. You dissect her response time. You wonder if that laugh meant something or if she's just being polite. And the longer you stay in this uncertainty, the more paralyzed you become. Because what if you're wrong? What if you misread everything and you make a move that ruins the entire dynamic? Here's what you don't realize. While you're stuck analyzing, she's watching how you respond to her signals. If you're too eager, you fail the test. If you're too distant, she assumes you're not interested and pulls back to protect herself. You're playing a game you don't even know the rules to. Most men make one of 2 mistakes. They either chase too hard, texting constantly, being overly available, trying to force clarity, or they wait forever for her to make it obvious, which she never will because she's protecting herself from the exact same rejection you're afraid of. The real issue? You're looking for the wrong signs. You're waiting for boldness when she's being strategic. You're expecting transparency when she's maintaining plausible deniability. And because of that, you're missing the 7 things she's actually doing to show you she cares. So here's what we're going to do. I'm about to walk you through 7 specific behaviors women show when they secretly love you. Not vague hints, not maybes. Clear patterns you can identify in your interactions right now. We're covering how she treats your words, her physical behavior around you, the nervous energy she can't hide, the way she tests your confidence, how she sacrifices for you, where you rank in her priorities, and the ultimate sign, when she opens up her vulnerabilities. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand. You'll stop second-guessing and start recognizing what's been right in front of you. Let's start with sign 1, and this one is all about memory. Sign number 1, she remembers small details you mentioned weeks ago. And I'm not talking about your birthday or where you work. I'm talking about the random throwaway things you said in passing. You mentioned you like a specific type of coffee 3 weeks ago. She brings it up in conversation like it's nothing. You told a story about your childhood dog. She asks you about it a month later. You casually said you were stressed about a project. She follows up on it without you bringing it up again. Here's the psychology. Women invest mental energy into people they're attracted to. Your conversations aren't just small talk to her. She's replaying them, thinking about what you said, storing details because you matter to her. This isn't something you can fake. Memory equals interest. Now, here's the distinction most men miss. Friendly people remember the big stuff: your job, your general hobbies, major life events. But a woman who's secretly into you, she remembers everything. The little things, the details you don't even remember mentioning. Pay attention to what she recalls. Does she bring up something so small and random that it surprises you she even held on to it? That's not casual attention. That's her mental space being occupied by you between your interactions. She's thinking about you when you're not around, and memory is the proof. But remembering isn't enough on its own. The next sign takes this deeper. It's about what she does with that information. Sign number 2, she finds excuses to touch you. This one's physical, and most guys either miss it completely or misinterpret what it means. I'm talking about the accidental touches, the playful shoves when you make her laugh, the way she adjusts your collar or brushes something off your shirt, the shoulder bump when you're walking side by side, the brief hand on your arm when she's emphasizing a point. Here's what's happening psychologically. Physical touch is how women test comfort and create intimacy. But she has to maintain plausible deniability, so she makes it look casual, spontaneous, or like she's just being friendly. She's creating physical connection while keeping the safety net of, it didn't mean anything. Pay attention to frequency and context. Does she do this with everyone, or just you? Is she finding reasons to be in your physical space more than necessary? Does she linger a little longer than normal when she touches your arm or shoulder? Here's the distinction. Friendly touch is brief and happens in public, social moments. Attracted touch is more frequent, lasts slightly longer, and she'll create opportunities for it even when there's no obvious reason. And here's what matters most. Watch how her touch escalates over time if you don't pull away. If she's into you, the frequency increases. She gets more comfortable. The touches become less accidental and more deliberate, though she'll still frame them as casual. Now here's where things get really interesting. Sign 3 is something that confuses most men because it looks like the opposite of interest. Sign number 3, she gets nervous or flustered around you. This is the one that trips men up because we expect attraction to look confident. We think if she likes us, she'll be smooth, flirty, composed. But here's the paradox. Women with the strongest feelings often show the most nervousness. Why? Because you affect her. She cares what you think, and that creates emotional vulnerability. Watch for these behaviors. She stumbles over her words more around you than with other people. She fidgets with her hair, her jewelry, her phone. She breaks eye contact quickly, like holding your gaze makes her uncomfortable. She laughs at things that aren't even funny, or forgets what she was about to say mid-sentence. Here's the psychology. When a woman is genuinely attracted to someone, it activates her fear of judgment. She wants you to see her a certain way, so she becomes hyper-aware of how she's coming across. That awareness creates nervousness. Now here's the critical distinction. Nervous excited versus nervous uncomfortable. If she's nervous but smiling, leaning in, finding reasons to stay in the conversation, that's attraction. If she's nervous and creating distance, looking for exits, giving short answers, that's discomfort. The difference is in whether she's moving toward you or away from you. This confuses men because we expect confidence to signal interest. But attraction often creates the opposite. The more she likes you, the more she has to lose, and that creates anxiety she can't fully hide. That was sign 3. We're at the halfway point, and if you're seeing these patterns, keep watching, because the next 4 signs get even more revealing. Sign 4 is the one most guys completely miss. Sign number 4, she tests you through teasing or challenge. This is the sign that confuses men the most, and it's the one that reveals the highest level of interest. If she's testing you, she's invested enough to care about your response. Here's what it looks like. Playful teasing about something harmless, challenging your opinions just for the sake of it, disagreeing with you when she clearly doesn't have strong feelings about the topic, or pushing your boundaries in small ways to see how you react. Here's the psychology behind it. Attraction testing. She wants to see if you're emotionally secure. Can you handle pressure without getting defensive? Do you take yourself too seriously? Will you get rattled when she playfully disrespects you? Or will you stay grounded and tease her back? Pay attention to tonality. If she's teasing you with a smile, laughing, and her body language is open, that's attraction. She's creating sexual tension through banter. If she's criticizing with distance and coldness, that's different. That's actual disinterest or disrespect. Here's what this really means. She's qualifying you. Women with genuine interest don't just accept any man. They test to see if you're emotionally strong, if you can lead, if you're secure enough to not need constant validation from her. How to respond? Stay calm. Don't get defensive. Tease back. Show her that her approval isn't what defines your confidence. The men who pass these tests are the ones who treat it like play, not like an attack. If she's testing you, that's actually a great sign. It means she's invested enough to care about your response. But sign 5 takes this even further, and it's about sacrifice. Sign number 5. She goes out of her way to help you. This sign is about effort and investment. When a woman secretly loves you, she looks for opportunities to make your life easier. She offers help before you even ask for it. She brings you food when she knows you're busy. She offers to help with something you mention needing to do. She goes out of her way, sometimes inconveniencing herself, to be useful to you. Here's the psychology. People invest time and effort into what they value. When she's helping you, she's not just being nice. She's demonstrating value, building reciprocity, and subconsciously positioning herself as someone who fits into your life seamlessly. Pay attention to the pattern. Does she do favors for everyone, or are you getting special treatment? Is she the type who helps everyone equally, or does she make exceptions for you? Does she offer assistance unprompted, or only when you directly ask? Here's the distinction. Friendly help is transactional and balanced. She helps when asked and expects reciprocity. Attracted help is proactive and disproportionate. She offers without prompting. She does more than necessary. She makes sacrifices you didn't request because making you happy matters to her. And here's the deeper layer most men miss. This is subconscious nurturing behavior. When a woman is investing effort into your well-being without expecting anything back, it's not just kindness. It's a sign of deep interest and emotional investment. That was sign 5. Now we're getting into the strongest signals, the ones that reveal deep attraction. Sign 6 is about where you rank in her priorities. Sign number 6. She prioritizes time with you. Time is the most honest currency. People make time for what matters to them, and they're always too busy for what doesn't. So when a woman consistently makes herself available for you, rearranges her schedule to match yours, or cancels other plans to see you, pay attention. That's not coincidence. That's prioritization. Here's what this looks like. She responds to your texts quickly and consistently. When you suggest hanging out, she's rarely busy. If she is busy, she suggests an alternative time instead of leaving it vague. She initiates plans with you. She makes herself available even when her schedule is packed. Here's the psychology. When someone is genuinely interested, they treat your time as valuable and they want more of it. She's not playing hard to get by making you wait days for a response or constantly telling you she's too busy. She's showing you through her actions that you're high on her priority list. Now here's the key distinction. Watch her actions with you versus what she tells you about her time with others. Does she tell you she's so busy, but then you see her consistently making time for you? That's the sign. She might be busy with life, but she's never too busy for you. The investment principle matters here. If she's consistently making time, she's consistently interested. People don't repeatedly prioritize someone they're lukewarm about. If she's showing up week after week, making herself available, you're not just an option, you're a priority. If she's prioritizing you, that's massive. But there's one final sign that trumps everything else. And when you see this, you'll know for certain. Here's sign 7. Sign number 7. She opens up about vulnerable things. This is the ultimate sign. The one that separates romantic interest from friendship. When a woman shares her fears, insecurities, past hurts, and deep personal struggles with you, she's not just making conversation. She's building intimacy. And women don't build intimacy with men they only see as friends. Here's what this looks like. She tells you about her family issues, her childhood wounds, her past relationship pain. She shares her fears about the future, her insecurities about herself, her dreams that she doesn't tell most people. She opens up about things that make her feel exposed, and she trusts you to hold that information with care. Here's the psychology. Vulnerability equals trust plus intimacy seeking. When a woman reveals her emotional interior to you, she's doing two things. First, she's testing whether you're safe. Will you judge her, minimize her feelings, or use this against her? Second, she's creating emotional connection. Shared vulnerability is how romantic bonds form. Pay attention to what she shares versus what others know about her. Does she tell you things she doesn't share publicly? Does she open up to you in ways she doesn't with her other friends? That's the distinction. Here's the truth most men miss. Women don't risk emotional vulnerability with men they only see as friends. Friendship stays on the surface. Romantic interest goes deep. If she's letting you into her emotional world, showing you the parts of herself she usually protects, that's not casual. That's intentional intimacy building. If you're seeing sign 7, along with several others, you're not imagining anything. But here's the controversial truth about all of this that most guys don't want to hear. Here's something uncomfortable you need to hear. Even if she's doing all 7 of these things, nothing happens unless you make a move. Women with secret feelings stay secret unless you give them a reason to reveal it. She's not going to confess her attraction. She's not going to make it crystal clear and risk rejection. That's your job. These signs aren't a guarantee, they're a green light, but you still have to drive. Here's the harsh reality most men avoid. Waiting for her to make it obvious is just another form of fear. You're using uncertainty as an excuse to stay safe, but safe doesn't get you anywhere. Confident men trust their read of the situation and make a move. Anxious men overanalyze until the moment passes and she assumes you're not interested. And here's what women won't tell you. They want you to lead. They want you to be the one with the confidence to escalate, to take the risk, to show interest first. Because if you can't do that with her, why would she trust you to lead in other areas? So ask yourself, are you using "I need more proof" as a shield against rejection? Or are you ready to act on what you're seeing? Because the guys who recognize these patterns and do nothing, they friend zone themselves while someone else steps up. These signs are your clarity, but clarity without action is just knowledge. What you do with it, that's what actually matters. So now you have the knowledge. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 signs have you noticed in your situation? Are you seeing 2, 4, all 7? And be honest. Are you waiting for more proof? Or are you ready to make a move? Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm here to help you figure out your next step. Not just to lecture you, but to actually connect and give you guidance based on your specific situation. Because this isn't just about one girl. This is about building the confidence to trust your read and take action. Men who can decode signals and act on them, they're the ones who don't stay stuck in uncertainty. They're the ones who end up with the girl while everyone else is still analyzing. Remember, you're not crazy for noticing these things. You're observant. And observant men who act on what they see, they're the ones who win. You've got the knowledge now. All that's left is the courage to use it.